Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode, I believe, of Dicey Dungeons. It's basically a game where you play as dice, you roll a dice, and then what happens is, as you roll dice, you have to fight enemies depending on those dice rolls. I've gone through and I played a bunch of this a while back, but it's the first time I'm playing this again in a couple years. So let's just jump into it, right? We have our own dice here. We have our dice, our character here. The warrior is just a basic warrior, right? Let's start at the very beginning. I know I have all of these unlocked, but it's been a while, so let's just play 4-1 to actually see how this works, right? Pretty simple, right? You have Lady Luck that you're battling, and we're trying to beat Lady Luck. So we get this board, right? We have enemies, so that's going to our next stage. Treasure chests contain new items for us. So here we see our first battle, right? So Slime gets to roll 3 dice. For us, right, we start with 2 dice. And for us, what the warrior can do, right, is we get to re-roll a dice here, right? That's what he gets to do. Let's keep this 4 because the 4 is better for us in our scenario. Well, 2 4s. Let's see if we can't re-roll something like a 6. We can't, so we'll just put this in and it deals 4 damage, right? The warrior is relatively basic for now, right? Different enemies will have different abilities, but right, see here we already know this is going to be we want to deal 6 damage, so that's the best we could have possibly gotten, so we just accept that. Slime, right, it adds 2 poison if it has an even, and because it had evens it was able to play that and deal damage. So let's just reroll here, see if we can get something like a 6. If not, 4 is enough to already kill, so we're happy with that result. Alright, so every time you kill someone, you get some experience, some levels, and whatnot. So here, let's take out this chest, right? We get a battle axe. So a battle axe, if you take a look at our equipment, right, is 2 times the dice damage, but it only goes up to 4. So you can only deal up to a max of 8 damage, which is more than the 6 we would have done otherwise, right? So here, right, so we can try to re-roll the 4 into a 6, but that doesn't actually help us. We want to keep this 4, right? Because the 4 is going to be maximum 8 damage there, and then if we can put the 5 in, we can just kill the frog easily, right? Not too much to go on here. Once you level up, you get extra dice, you get extra perks and whatnot. So let's keep going. So this is 5 health. We don't need it right now, so I'm not going to eat it just yet. So let's go to Dryad and see if we can't pick up the next treasure chest. So Dryad's strong against poison. We don't have any poison attacks yet, so it doesn't matter. So once again, the 4 is going to be going in here because that's 8 damage. That's the max we could possibly deal with that. 5 is nice, but if we can get a 6 here, that would be amazing. We don't get a 6, but we'll do a 13 damage to Dryad. Next turn, if we get that same type of luck, we'll win, right? And here we see this, right? Their different abilities have different things. And for her, right, she could heal. So Fury, right, doubles the next action. Well, we want to get a 4 here, right? That's a 2. And we have a 6. If we get a 6, 6 times 2 plus 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. So that's going to be enough to kill, right? 1, 2, and 4 damage to kill. Alright. And let's grab our chest. Bump, increase dice value by 1, which is pretty nice. 5 health, we'll take it right now, since that gets us to 27 out of 28 health. Marshmallow, on fire, because why not? So we can take a look at enemy moves, right? Enemy moves, if he gets an odd, he can freeze 1 dice. If it's even, right, he'll be able to burn 1 dice. We get to see what those do. So let's see. Let's actually just bump the 5 into a 6 and put the 6 in here and call it, because we can't do anything else. So we see odd, right? 2 odds, so he deals 1 damage and freezes the dice. What Frozen does is it takes your highest number and sets it to a 1, if I remember correctly. Yep, turns the highest rolled dice into a 1, which isn't great for us, but that's what we have this reroll, right? If we can reroll this into like a 5, that would be great, or a 6. Actually, if we want, I do want to show you guys something. If you take a bump, 6 plus 1, you actually just get an extra dice. So that's going to be something that might come in handy for later on if we get more items or get other abilities that are reusable and just take more dice, right? So Spike Shield is interesting, odd, even. It's an even to deal damage. When it's odd, you get the shield. Boomerang on the other hand is just damage, but you take damage as well. I think I'll take the Boomerang here because that's just a lot of damage. If we look into the equipment, right, we see that some of these are formatted so that, like the sword and the battle axe both take up an entire 2 slots, versus bump and boomerang only take up 1, right? That's also something you need to keep in mind here, because while sword and battle axe are good, right, they take up more space. All right, let's fight Sneezy. Let's see. So now we see here, right, boomerang would be nice for us, but what we really want is we want something. Let's reroll the 1 because the 1 really isn't helping us. 2 is not going to be great either. Okay, we have a 6. So since we have 2 6s, let's just reroll that, bump it up, so we get another item. So we can put the 4 damage in here, or we could deal 4 damage here. We deal 4 here, deal 6 to ourselves, and deal 6, 12 more. 12. Oof, yeah. So one thing you do notice is Fury. So Fury fills up whenever you take a set amount of damage, right? And with that set amount of damage, it's able. Right now, our Fury is up. Now, what this means is we can use this to double our next action. So we only need to deal 2 damage. So we don't need to double anything. We can just deal the damage and just win. So that actually carries over from round to round. So it's going to be nice for our next encounter. But here we have a shop, right? Shops are nice because we are able to grab something here. So we have 5 coins. The broadsword is just a better version of the sword, right? It's a sword plus 2. So let's just grab it for now. And let's see. Let's check up equipment bag, right? We definitely don't need the sword then. Put the broadsword in. It's just a straight up upgrade. And we can either replace boomerang with claw, or we don't have to. I don't think I'm going to replace it with claw. Now we see a new floor, right? We have 3 different enemies. Let's fight the handyman first. So handyman is going to be interesting. So we can let's see how much damage we can actually deal. Let's reroll this 1, see if we can't get it to this. Okay, a 6 is nice. Let's bump the dice value, and let's reroll the 1 again. Reroll it 1 more time. So we have 2 4s, a 5, and a 6. So the most damage we can do once would be 16, which we can use Fury, Battle Axe that, and we can have 8 damage to you, and we can kill the enemy this way. All right, we take 4 damage, and we win. Super easy battle right there. Nothing to be worried about. And now we can take some health, right? Since we did take some damage using our boomerang. Let's see with Stereo Head if we can do anything here. Stereo Head is, let's take a look at his moves. He has weaken abilities, which I don't think we're gonna kill him in one round, so we'll probably get to see it. Let's reroll the 1 to see if we can't get it into something else. A 6 is great since we can bump it up for extra dice. Reroll, we get a 5, and let's just reroll the 3 right now because that's our worst dice. That turns into a 6. That's great. So the 4 goes into the battle axe, no questions about that. The 6 goes into in there, and do we want to deal? Oh, we could just kill him actually. But just so you know, what weaken does is we can downgrade one of our moves, and it makes it harder. It makes it so that the moves just aren't effective. Depending on the move, it'll have different effects. I didn't expect to kill him that quickly. Max health increased by 4. We get an extra dice, and we get set back to full health. So let's go to the anvil, right? The anvil allows you to actually upgrade something, right? For example, the broadsword gets upgraded to +3 damage. The battle axe here, right? Instead of being taking 2 space, it'll only take 1. Bump gets upgraded so we can use it twice. And boomerang plus makes it so it only deals 3 damage to you instead of just the X damage, half of X damage, right? So because our backpack really only has this sword, right? Sword just isn't. If we get battle axe, it doesn't help us in any way, shape, or form, right? By reducing its size. So boomerang, I think, is the best one for us, because boomerang is going to be reducing a lot of the damage since we have bump and we have rerolls. Before we go to the shop, actually let's take a look at the shop just to see what's there. Nightstick shocks the enemy and is reusable. Might be interesting. Snake Eye Charm is interesting. It just gives you 2 dice, 2 ones, but we don't not really need that. So I think let's grab Nightstick for shocks. That might come in helpful later, but just not yet. And Haunted Jar, 34 health. And alright, so this one is a bit more interesting, right? We will definitely want to reroll the 3. If we can get it to 6, that'd be perfect because we can get an extra dice. Now we can reroll the 1, and let's reroll the 1 more time. Alright, so we see here the boomerang is going to be able to deal 24 damage while dealing only 6 damage to us, right? And now what we're going to be able to do here is 6 damage there and 8 damage here, and we are easily going to win that. I might have been able to take a bit less damage there, but I didn't feel like doing the calculations, and you guys can just tell me how I messed up. Alright, so we found a special which flips the dice upside down. That one's pretty interesting. So let's take a look at our equipment. We could get rid of Battle Axe, which I don't think is a good idea, but we could use But yeah, so what special does, flipping the dice upside down, if you guys don't know how dices are laid out, they're essentially laid out in a way where the opposite sides always add up to 7. So with Spatula, Snake Eye Charm might be an interesting option because you can always turn 1s into 6s and 2s into 5s and so on. Yeti's weak to fire. We don't have any fire here, so that doesn't really apply to us. So we definitely want the 6 inside the boomerang, but let's see if we need to bump anything just yet. Because we only can use 3 dice, so bumping really doesn't help as much as I had been thinking. Let's reroll the 3, see if we can't get something good. A 5's not bad, because we definitely are going to go 6 here, 12 damage there, and then 8 damage there to end our turn, because we aren't able to actually deal more damage. He needs Snake Eyes to freeze us completely, or he could just freeze 2 of our die. Freezing 2 of our die really doesn't do much, right? Because we still can just deal this 8 damage here and just kill him. Alright, that is great. And now let's take a look at this one here. So this is a swap, right? We haven't been using Nightstick at all. Claw is interesting, right? And Claw, because we've been looking for higher and higher values. So Claw would allow us to use our smaller values, but I don't think that's great for us. All right. So let's take a look at this crystal. All right. Let's see. The crystal has the abilities of crystallize, which is to create a random weapon. Okay. So, well, let's see if we can't beat her before she's able to do that. 2 is not great. 1's not great. And another 1. Okay, not the best luck there, but it should be enough, right? We could deal 8, or this would be 8 damage times 2, so that would be 16 damage. And then we can add 1 to there for a 5, deal 10 damage there, and deal 6 more. And wow, that's a really good, nice roll on her part, but she'll be able to get a 6, get a random weapon. Even doesn't help her, so she needs to unlock another weapon. Wow, again, evens. She's got great luck on her rolls, but she wasn't able to really use it, get anything out of that. And now, I don't believe she can survive this. Yeah, 8 plus 8 is 16. Easily died. And alright, let's on to the next stage, right? The Loud Bird. Right? Loud Bird that was a terrible roll. The Loud Bird has the abilities Squawk, Silences, which I believe just makes it so you can't use the charge up bar here. Flight, which is dodging, which means he doesn't take any damage. Weaken it weakens one of our attacks. So none of these are good, so let's reroll one of the ones. We'll take a 4, because the 4 is going to the Battle Axe. And let's reroll this one. Okay, these are terrible rolls. So it's not worth it for me to put anything under a 3 into this, because then it'd be the same as a boomerang. It'd be worse than a boomerang. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to bump the 4 to a 5, take the boomerang, so 10 damage there. I'll take the 5 damage back, 3 damage back, battle axe that with the 2, and then broadsword with the 2. And let's see, needs doubles to silence. Alright, that's okay, so we're silenced. Dodges our next attack. So this attack, the first attack isn't going to do anything. Alright, silence also breaks our innate ability here. So let's see, we could get a new dice, right? And then we can use the 2 of them. Well, that helps us anyway. Now it doesn't matter what happens, that would help us. I want to put the 6 into boomerang because that would deal 12 damage and deal 3 damage to us, which is okay because you can't really do that much damage. At most, would be doing 5 damage. And after this, we should be leveling up. So let's do that. And oh wait, he dodged the first attack. I completely forgot about that. So wow, that's terrible. 7 damage and 4 damage there. That was a terrible play there because we just took 3 damage for no reason. Anyway, we're going to be silenced again, and it looks like we're going to be taking 5 damage here. Alright, and now you guys get to see what we can do. We can now see bump. Oh, it's still bump, but it's bump minus, where it doesn't give you any good values, right? You can't upgrade good values. You can only upgrade 3 or less. And here, boomerang minus, it's maximum of 3, right? So that's not great. Let's get a battle axe there, and then 7. So if we can get a 5, right? If we can get a 5, or we could put the 2 in here. I could put a 1 in there to deal 2 damage. Yeah, and then I can put a 3 here, and there we go. We're a bit low on health, but we should, yep, we leveled up, so we're fine there. Skull Bash isn't great, and we don't have any shield synergy, so let's not go with that. Let's upgrade our equipment, then, and we can upgrade our battle axe, right? So upgrade our battle axe, and now let's take a look at this chest, which is a staff. Deal 6 damage, burn 1 dice. So burn is something that we haven't encountered yet. Burn, basically what it does is it makes it so that to use one of the dice you have to take 2 damage to get rid of the burn. Alright, so let's just put in the nightstick for now, since the nightstick is reusable, which means that if we have more dice left over, we can always just keep on shocking our enemy. Alright, so now we have even more enemies, of course, which is not unexpected. Alright, the Gargoyle. So the battle axe is a maximum of 4, so the 4 is probably going to be going in the bulk for the Gargoyle. The nightstick takes evens only, but before we can get there, let's reroll our dice. So a 4 is not terrible, so let's reroll the 1. A 6, let's bump the 6 and reroll this 1. Alright, so that's a 5. So we want the 4 in here. We want the 6 in here. And then we have, actually, if we put the 5 in here, then we can shock him twice. Which, do 3 damage, reroll with lower value. Because the issue here is I would love to block some of him, but he only gets 2 dice, which means that Avalanche probably won't trigger too many times. So I think we should be able to do that. Let's just shock one of his items and deal 5 damage here. I definitely should have used the Fury there, but this is fine. Which one do we lock? We locked 1 Avalanche, which he has other Avalanches to use. And he can just unlock that and use 1, and it locks 1 dice. Okay, locking a dice means that the lowest value dice cannot be used, right? That dice just cannot be used. Let's bump here, so we get another dice, and let's reroll. If we roll into a 6, that's not terrible. Let's reroll the 1. We want that to be a 4, preferably. But even with that not being a 4, we can deal 6 damage from the battle axe. Then we can deal 16. right? Yeah, we can do 16 by using Fury and Broadsword to kill the Gargoyle. So that's nice. Alright. And onto a battle. Let's battle a Kraken because then we get more options. And so 6, 6, 3, and 1. That's not bad at all. Kraken has moves Curses an enemy, which I don't remember exactly what it does. Overwhelm, if you have a lot of evens, is going to be hard. And then Camouflage blinds 2 dice. So blinding means that we won't be able to see the dice. I definitely want to bump. If we bump, we can now call a reroll the 1, hopefully reroll the 1 again. Okay, that's not exactly what we want here, because we want to be able to shock both of his. We want to shock his stuff. So a steal 10 there, 3 back to us, 5 damage there, 6 damage there. I do not like that we have to do this way, simply because, I don't want to get cursed. And I don't want him to be able to use Overwhelm too much. So we're blinded there. That's Overwhelm. 1 damage for now is not bad, but after doing a lot, it's not going to be nice. So equipment has 50% chance to fail, which is not great. I have no clue what any of these are. So I don't know what these are. I can try to put it into like Battle Axe. Well, we know that was a 4 less, but now the Battle Axe is gone, right? If we reroll, it doesn't actually get rid of the curse, I believe. So let's reroll this 1 right now. It's a 5. Alright, that's not terrible. Let's reroll the 2. Stays a 2. Let's reroll the 2 again. Goes to a 4. Not bad. Let's bump this dice that we don't know the value of. So now that's at least a 2. So let's put the 5 in here. That's 10 damage there. And let's try to see if this is even. It is even. So that might have been a 6 that I just used on accident. Put the 4 there. And either way, he wasn't going to be dead. So it didn't matter as much. But now he deals quite a lot of damage to us. And once again, blinds 2 of our dice. Well, in this case, we're easily going to kill him with just a 6 on our broadsword. And we gain our EXP. Now, where is the fruit? Yes, we need to eat that. Let's upgrade our equipment a bit more. And let's see. We could do plus 3 damage, plus 2, or we can shock. We could just use next tick whenever, right? Or let's take a look at our backpack. We could do Spatula Plus, which is interesting. Or we can do Staff Plus. Or Sword Plus definitely isn't what we want. But I think that Bump is probably going to be a pretty good thing, because plus 1 dice value, you can just get extra dice from that. Let's go into the shop, see what they have to offer. Upgrade equipment is 4. Shriek is unnecessary. Let's buy the apple for now. And let's kill the Rhino Beetle so we can see what equipment we get out there. Alright. For sure, we can bump. And now, I could bump again. Let's take a look at his moves. His moves aren't terrible. Alright. Not great. Locking a dice and just high damage. So the 4 goes in here. And let's try to reroll this. A 5. Reroll the other one. It's another 1. Let's reroll the 1 again then. It's another 5. Okay. So I can do 5, 5, and then shock both of his, which means he only gets to do at most 1 of his items. Now let's shock. And we can shock again. And now we can end our turn. He can at most do 1 of these, right? Because you need 1 dice to unshock it. Dealing 4 damage is okay by me. And now we should be able to kill him with 16 plus... Well, yeah, 16 plus 8 damage is going to be enough to kill him. And we are going on to the next stage. Alright. Let's take a look at the chest. Toxic Ooze. Alright, that's not bad. It deals damage on a 6, it adds 2 poison. We can go back here to check out our upgrades that are possible, right? If we buy the upgrade, right? And we go back, let's see what we have. Toxic Ooze is, so on a 6 it adds 3 poison, and look at our equipment, right? We've been using our broadsword a lot, but poison just deals more damage overall. So I think we're going to upgrade Toxic Ooze, and from our equipment, we are going to use the Toxic Ooze instead of our broadsword. Alright, let's go and fight the Banshee. So, on a 6, the Toxic Ooze will do a lot more damage, but on anything else, it's not going to do as much. And because we have so many rerolls and bumps, we're going to be we can pretty reliably get 6s, right? For example, we have here, we just get a 6 right there. And 6 goes in Toxic Ooze. And we'll put the 4 in Battle Axe. And Banshee, we can bump the 3 to deal 8 and then Nightstick to shock. Alright, so what Poison does, right? Poison, it loses damage at the start of each turn. So if you have a lot of damage, right, you're going to be able to deal quite a lot of damage there. So I kind of want for the curse to be used up at the start, but I don't want to use it on the 6th, right? So let's see if we can get bump to trigger here. Let's try this again with this one here. Nope. Okay, so now let's put the 4 in here, see if we can have Poison Ooze work. Okay, we're getting lucky. If this hits, then we actually beat. Nope, we're not able to hit that. But Nightstick hits, and next turn, as long as we deal 2 damage here, we'll win because it'll take 4 poison damage at the start of its turn. So all we need to do is survive here, and that is a lot of damage that we're taking here. But we should level up at the end of this, which means that we do get to wow, I forgot that we still have the curse going on, but we get to level up, and once we level up, we regain all of our health. Banshee's dead, Screaming Oz, and yep, level up, max level, and we get 4 dice. Buster. Alright, let's just go straight there. There's no need to prepare. And he's strong against fire, but we're not using any fire, right? So we have 6s. So because we have 6s, what we can do is we can double Toxic Ooze there and deal 6 poison damage. Have 6 poison damage ready already. We can get an extra one there. Let's reroll to see if we can get it into. Let's reroll the 1 here. That's a 2. I like the 2. We're only gonna be able to use one of the 5s, right? So let's reroll 5. See if we can get that. Okay, 4 is really nice. Put that 4 there. We can bump this 5 into a 6. Let's put the 5 in here. And if we look at his moves, right? He has 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. But what we can do is we can shock 3 of his moves, meaning that now it's going to be he's not going to be able to deal as much damage to us, right? He can deal that 4 damage in 1 burn, but other than that, he's not going to be able to do it 3 times. He's only able to do it 2. So take a look at this burn, right? Burn, it costs 2 health to actually get our dice back, and we need 3 health for Fury to activate. So I'll just activate Fury that way, and now we can deal the damage back again. So 11 damage to him at the start of his turn. If we deal 9 damage to him, we win. And right here, that deals 10 damage to him, and we survive that. So by ending our turn here, we actually win against Buster. So yeah, it's been a while since I played, and this was a really good introduction or like refresher into the game. And if you guys enjoy this, leave a like, comment if you would like to see more of this too. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.